What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we are doing a first round mock using the draft order from the records prediction videos. So I've been doing about 30 minutes already trading around each pick, just getting the perfect draft order. As we can see, I'm using the draft order from this, and I've only been able to get up to pick 14 because of the fact that I can't see who has each pick. And to be honest, it'd be a much bigger pain in the ass to have to continue shooting in the dark to see which team has which pick, which I'll just pause the video and then just update it as time goes along so you guys don't have to see it. But again, Camel Wolf, it's the same situation with the site that you offered, which thank you for that, but I'm already paying $50 a year for this stuff, so I also like the site a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, this is the way that it fell, and we'll obviously discuss each pick and then obviously their draft position as time goes on. But based on the records that I predicted, obviously I'm not going to be perfect. I can tell by a lot of the backlash that I've gotten from people. It's but this is the way it's going to be. Okay, so with the first overall pick, guys, we have the Washington Redskins. Washington Redskins, I mean, at this point in their football lifespan, they are going to be really thrown up. This is going to be more of like a realistic / what I would do, like a realistic what I would do type draft if I were the GM, because obviously I have not updated this at all in like a couple months. But obviously, I would take Tanner Morgan over Trevor Lawrence, but there's no need to at number 1, if you know what I mean. So we're going to do it as if this is the correct way to do it, as if I can actually evaluate players' values. So starting off at number 1 overall, we're dealing with some big issues here with offensive line. We lost Trent Williams, and that was a huge part of what I was talking about in the record predictions video, is the fact that Dwayne Haskins is not the answer, in my opinion. And, I mean, when you're here, it's either you need to get a franchise left tackle or a franchise quarterback, and what has more value? I think there's more franchise tackles coming out of these drafts than franchise quarterbacks. So I'm going to be going Justin Fields here. I think that's the best option. I think also with the whole situation with the organization being under flack for racial issues with the name of their team, I think that they would want to not just take the stereotypical white quarterback, just an idea, but I think Justin Fields is worth more than Trevor Lawrence as well. So realistically, I would choose Justin Fields, but I think that Washington has to choose Justin Fields, or else they're going to be called out by Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman for being inherently racist. So, I mean, it's kind of a win-win. So, number 2, this is not the Jags pick, guys. This is the Los Angeles Rams pick. So, I mean, they went 2-14, and I thought they would have had the first overall pick, but they didn't. Which it's whatever. The Jags, if they're down at this point, the question is, what is going to be there at number 5? A quarterback or a tackle? And I think a tackle is going to be there. I think the best move here is to get T-Law. Tank for Trevor is a legit thing. 2 quarterbacks go at number 1 and number 2 overall. Right here with the Chargers, you guys need a quarterback badly because Justin Herbert is not the option, as we found out with the records. But here's a huge thing. Yes, I missed out on the fact that they got Try Turner and they got some other free agent guard. And they have Brian Bulaga. But those guys are all mediocre or old. And there's a franchise left tackle here. And at least give your team your quarterbacks the decency of showing that you actually give a shit about them. And get them a damn franchise offensive lineman. That would be the best pick I could ever, it's better than these 2 picks in my opinion, for the value that a team gets. That is an absolute steal. So, going to number 4, Jarrett Stidham wasn't the answer. Obviously this is not with Cam Newton. This is with Jarrett Stidham, which, I mean, it's a legit idea that Cam Newton might have too much rust to get in front of a potential future option. But, I mean, you never know. One of the biggest issues is weapons here. And, I mean, there's no way that Jamar Chase is not a lucrative option at number 4. So to me, I think that Jamar Chase is worth this pick. And I think that he, along with N'Keal Harry can finally start to bloom as a player if he has Jamar Chase on the other side. And then you have a guy like Julian Edelman, and he's, of course, going to be 35 when the season starts. but he's still a good route runner and stuff. He adds versatility to that team, and you can pick up a guy later in the draft. Jamar Chase is going to save the franchise, which kind of sucks because the Jaguars could have paired up Jamar Chase with DJ Chark, but I mean, it's not like the end of the world here, guys. So looking at the Jags here, this is their actual pick, and now they have their franchise quarterback. That's one of the biggest things, and they have a developing secondary. Their linebackers, I mean, you have Miles Jack, he's a beast. Telvin Smith's getting older, and you have Joe Sherbert. I don't really think linebacker's too much of a need, but they could still go there, guys. I mean, I'm personally thinking about going there, but if you're getting Trevor Lawrence, you're going to want to make sure that he's protected, and you have Brandon Linder, so there's no need to get Creed Humphrey here. So looking at the value of linemen, the best guy I could see is Wyatt Davis. And he can be a guard. You can really put him anywhere on the interior offensive line. So I think Wyatt Davis might be the option here, but we could go Kyle Pitts or, in my opinion, the better player, Pat Freiermuth. But I mean, we're really picking at little micro hairs here, trying to decide what type of player to get. And I think if you're up here, I think you just got to continue revamping that linebacker core, man. They have an insane linebacker core with Schobert. By Schobert and then Miles Jack, because Telvin Smith's getting older. It's not working out. But being able to add Micah Parsons allows them to go into more of a 4-3 style and basically use Telvin Smith as an edge rusher / sub linebacker because he's getting older. And I think Micah Parsons would add beautiful versatility and youth to that linebacking core that would make it to where he can play outside linebacker along with Miles Jack, and then have Joe Sherbert be the normal tackling, run stuffing type of middle linebacker that he should be. I think that would be an amazing option because Micah could just seal those edges and cover very well. He's an absolute beast, and at this point, you just can't really lose that type of value. So the next pick, I mean, this is where Micah Parsons would have went if he didn't go at number 5. This pick right here, it's really interesting because Trey Lance is definitely an option here. If I were in the Panthers seat, you have DJ Moore there. They have Robbie Anderson. If they're going at pick 6, that means Teddy Bridgewater isn't really the option. But they gave him a good contract. I'm pretty sure they have him for 3 years. So 2 years after this. I mean, if I were them, I would honestly, Trey Lance is going to be, the 3rd best quarterback in this class? I mean, you don't really want to get the 3rd best at 6. You don't want to get the backwash. So, if I were them, I'd be looking for some lineman options. And Creed Humphrey's not a bad option here. I mean, worst case scenario, kicks to guard and stuff. I'm going to go Wyatt Davis, just because he's not a pure center. I think that Wyatt Davis has positional flexibility, and he's an absolute beast. You should see the holes that J.K. Dobbins was running through. So, I think J.K. Dobbins. I think Wyatt Davis is the best option for them here. Obviously, don't look at pick 15 on. I'm going to edit this in just a second because I really am excited to give New York Giants finally some more edge presence with Gregory Rousseau, an absolute beast out of Miami. He is super young, super athletic, and he puts up the stats as well. He has a lot to grow, and Miami has possibly the best edge rush in the entire college football this year, assuming that we have a season. Him and I keep forgetting the other name, Quincy Roche. Those two guys are going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. Okay, so at number 8, the Bengals had a semi-successful season, obviously moving up 7 spots in the draft, or moving down 7 spots in the draft. So they're still in the search for ways to get Joe Burrow and that defense to take another step. And I honestly think that Marvin Wilson could be a pretty damn good option here. And it's obviously amazing value for the pick. We have to look at some other options. I don't think Christian Barmore or Jalen Tweeman are really going to be the best of options. Samuel Cosme could be a guy here because obviously they have Cordy. I'm not sure if they even have Cordy Glenn anymore. I know that they have Jonah Williams from Alabama, who should be pretty solid. But I mean, I could be going for Caleb Farley here as well. They obviously can use another corner, and it might be the way I go. But I'm honestly going to lean more towards the offensive line side. So looking at the offensive tackles here, I think the best option here is Alex Leatherwood, simply from the fact that he has positional flexibility. You don't need him to play tackle, and he can play guard at a very high level. He can play tackle at a very high level. So I think the flexibility is what is going to be crucial in this situation. And we've updated up to pick 21. So again, I'm probably going to have to jump out and do another like 20 minutes of trading and shit. But it's all good. Number 9, the Jets. So the Jets, they are in an interesting situation. And I think one of the key things they need is a wide receiver, because I know that they have Denzel Mims there. They have Quincy Enunwa. They have like older guys and like very raw players, but I think they need some more electricity, some more spark. Like I think that Robbie Anderson should have stayed. If we're gonna be honest, Robbie Anderson was pretty solid, and I think that he and Sam Darnold had a pretty good connection. But hey, I mean whatever. So either we're going to be going Devontae Smith here. I think Devontae Smith's better than Jalen Waddle, or else we're going Creed Humphrey. It's one of these two. You either got to protect Sam Darnold, or we got to give him a good weapon on the outside. And I think that the value of wide receiver here is better, getting the second best wide receiver in the class right now, versus getting like I guess it's the second best interior offensive lineman. So it's about equal, but Creed Humphrey doesn't have the flexibility that Devontae Smith does. So I'm going to give Devontae Smith a versatile weapon that is going to be able to be a game changer. I think that's going to be very crucial for the Jets in their future. So also there's some pretty solid interior offensive linemen and tackles later in this draft. It's pretty good in terms of like day 2 depth. So I think that's pretty solid. Number 10, we got the Lions. Lions, they are desperately in need of a lot of different positions. And honestly, guys, I'm going to give them Trey Lance. I think that it's kind of the spark that they need. I feel like Matt Stafford, A, deserves a better location, and B, needs a better location. I think his time there is done. It's not really... He's getting old. His contract's getting expensive. People went on these rookie deals. They're going to be able to go out and sign more people. And this regime is either going to want to be super conservative, i.e. Dylan Moses, which wouldn't be a bad option, or they're going to go with the more balls-to-the-wall approach with Trey Lance. And that's what they're going to do. Trey Lance is a very interesting prospect. Watching him play, I mean, he had like 42 touchdowns to 0 interceptions / fumbles. So, I mean, that's pretty damn solid. And, I mean, I've seen some, like, tape on him. He's not as mesmerizing, I think, as people think. But he's damn good. He's damn good. Number 11, the Falcons. I got a little bit of hate for putting the Falcons this low, but, I mean, it is what it is, guys. I would give him Marvin Wilson, but there's no real need to. I think Dylan Moses could be a great option here to add to that linebacking core, because I already know that Deion Jones is an absolute freak, and being able to switch, I think they're a 4-3 right now. If they're able to switch to a 3-4, I think it's going to be an amazing option, because then you could stick Takk McKinley out on the outside, and adding just Dylan Moses would just be so crucial to this system, guys. It would just absolutely insane. He has so much talent. He's a top 5 talent, but his injuries have just pushed him down a bit in terms of like overall ability. And I'm kind of confident that 2 first-round corners can like get the job done well enough in Atlanta with AJ Terrell and then Isaiah Oliver out of Boulder. I'm pretty sure he was a first-round pick. I think that they can do that well enough, and I think they have potential. Wow, I mean, Dolphins again. I mean, it's kind of weird here, but I'm going to give him Creed Humphrey. This is just way too good to give up at this point. You got to continue protecting Tua, and I think that's going to just be a very crucial aspect of that team right there. Number 13, the Vikings. So the Vikings, this is where they're going to say, there's no way in hell that Marvin Wilson can fall past us. They're going to pick him up. Absolutely amazing value for that pick. I think I have Marvin Wilson as my 10th best player in the draft, and I mean, honestly, I can't see anymore, obviously. But Actually, no, I think he's like my 8th best player. He's super talented. I think he's a little bit overhyped at like number 7. I put him at 8. Big deal. I mean, it is a big deal because it's like, yeah, you're saying he's better than certain players, but still, Marvin Wilson's an absolute freak. And I think that 13 is probably the earliest I would say defensive tackles or interior defensive linemen should go. Number 14, the Dolphins are back. This is the Texans' pick. And, I mean, if you're going to be wanting to continue to protect Tua, this is what I would do. I think this is a very logical choice. Like, Jalen Waddle could be a very good option here, guys. But Samuel Cosme is an absolute beast at tackle. Having him pair up with Austin Jackson is crucial. Crucial towards the Dolphins' effort in order to have Tua actually last in this league. I think Tua can deal with worse weapons than a worse line. I think that being able to bolster the offensive line with 2 guys who could easily be worth top 10 picks. They could be top 10 picks in this coming draft. That type of talent, I think that's going to be crucial. Number 15, the Titans. I mean, they're kind of dealing with they're cooking with Crisco here. Like, they can go for a corner because obviously they're, like, I mean, yeah, they did just pick up corner out of LSU in the 2nd round, but I mean, you can't say no to having more corners, as PFF says. I mean, I don't really like these guys. Hint, I'm not really going to pick them up at all. I don't really think they're that talented. I don't think they're first-round talents, but I've heard good things about Tweeman. Kyle Pitts is kind of going to be the type of guy I'm looking at, but since they just gave a monster contract to, what's his name, Derrick Henry, I want a guy who can block better. And I think that is Pat Freiermuth. I'm giving Pat Freiermuth the go-ahead here. He's going to be the future weapon for both Derrick Henry's sake and for the sake of Ryan Tannehill. Again, number 22 and on is not final. So at number 16, we have the Eagles. And right here, they have the pick of the fucking litter, guys. And Caleb Farley and Shaun Wade are both very interesting because Shaun Wade, we don't know what he's going to be yet because he has been a top 5 overall player in slot corner, which is very useful. But they already have plenty of guys who are slot corners. Caleb Farley as well as a slot corner, but Patrick Surtain is that guaranteed boundary guy that you can pair up with Darius Slay and completely kick ass. I'm pretty sure I have Patrick Surtain in my top 15. He is a freaking beast. I'm pretty sure he's 6'2", right? 6'1". I mean, he has the size, former 5-star. I think that is going to be the way of the future for the Eagles. Okay, so we have officially updated all of the picks up until 32. Kind of a pain in the ass because TDN's been kind of glitchy, but that's okay. It took us another like 20 to 30 minutes, so appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I mean, we spent plenty of time both together making and watching the content that's led up to this draft order. So, very interesting. But number 17, the Raiders are here, and I gotta trust these guys a little bit. Christian Barmore and Tweeman are in the conversation. But, I mean, Kyle Pitts is here as well, but Darren Waller is definitely taking up that edge. Jalen Waddle's not even close to needed. Caleb Farley could be an interesting option here, along with Shaun Wade. Now, you have guys, I keep forgetting the guy's name. He's so similar to A.J. Terrell. He was also taken out of Clemson in the 2nd round. But they have corners, but maybe not a marquee corner. And they don't need a running back. Again, they don't really need wide receiver that much. Like, they're kind of stuck in a little bit of a hard place here, guys. And, I mean, we could give him Quincy Roche, but he's kind of old. I don't really think Aiden Hutchinson's a first-round type of player yet. I need to watch him again. But, I mean, somebody who is getting a lot older is the inside of their offensive line. Like, they're getting a lot older. And Josh Myers is center, so we don't need Josh Myers to be there. But Trey Smith has a shit ton of versatility, and I think I have him at like 16 or 17. So we're giving him Trey Smith here. I'm a huge offensive line fan, obviously. Huge Harper, the offensive line. I think it's the most crucial position besides quarterback on an entire team. So I think like the offensive line is just way too influential over how a team plays. Okay, number 18. Surprisingly, the New Orleans Saints did not make the playoffs. I didn't expect that. I didn't plan that by any stretch of the imagination. But hey, whatever. So we're kind of hitting a little bit of a weird spot here, guys, because Caleb Farley and Shaun Wade are both like more slot type of corners, and Chauncey Gardner Johnson is kind of taking that role and actually been pretty good at it. So I don't really know about whether we want to take one of these guys, but the question is who can translate to outside. So after looking at Caleb Farley's tape and looking at some of his stats, I have a lot of faith in Caleb Farley, similar to a Byron Murphy, in the fact that he can play boundary corner better than Shaun Wade. So I'm actually going to give Caleb Farley this nod. Caleb Farley's only like real negatives are A, the fact he's 5'10", but B, his injuries, and that's something that with better training, better meals, like just overall better staff around him, I think that's going to be able to be mitigated as much as possible. And he's an excellent press corner, so we're going to be able to pair him up with Marshawn Lattimore here to create possibly the most lethal secondary in the NFL. So a team right here, they don't really need a slot corner. If I'm not mistaken, they have Mackenzie Alexander. But it's interesting because we might actually still go there. Actually, we're not going to because of the fact that we have Jackson Carman here. He can fit in at tackle, but Josh Myers, I mean, ever since Wood, like Eric Wood, I think that's his name, ever since he left, the center spot hasn't been the most reliable position. And I think a guy from Ohio State is the perfect way to continue to protect and give Josh Allen every single opportunity that you can. So Josh Myers going to the Buffalo Bills. Very interesting choice, very logical in my opinion. The next pick, the Cowboys, they say they need safeties. I know Campbell Wolf does not like the fact that I say that they need safeties. But it is true that 4 corners are going to be on contract this coming year. And with the whole dispute with Dak Prescott, they're probably going to cave in. Because as Jerry says, he says the best things in life he's always overpaid for. And a quarterback might be the thing he overpays for. He's already overpaid everywhere else. So Shaun Wade, regardless of his role, is going to be a crucial addition to this team. I think it's going to be it's great that he slid this far, but I think that Shaun Wade is going to be a very crucial aspect of this team. Seahawks are here, and if I was their GM chair, I'm going Jackson Carman. There's zero thought going into this. There's lineman's the biggest issue. I'm sorry, they say corner's an issue. Lineman's a bigger issue. Yeah, they have Dwayne Brown, and he's still a beast. But it's one offensive lineman. You can't carry an entire offensive line with one offensive lineman. So the next pick is the Broncos, who had a surprisingly very good year. And there's a lot of options here. And I think Daniel Faalele is the perfect choice because I would say that he would be better for the Seahawks system. But Russ is too much of a scrambler. And Jackson Carman's used to Trevor Lawrence, who has more wheels than a guy similar to Tanner Morgan. Tanner Morgan is a lot closer to Drew Lock than Russell Wilson is. So we're going to give them the 6'8", 400-pounder out of Minnesota to completely change the game. And now my Steelers. So this is a bit personal for me. So I'm obviously going to think this over a little bit. But, I mean, a very interesting option for me would be Rondale Moore here. Yes, they have a shit ton of young wide receivers, but they kind of lack speed. But let's look at the quarterback options, guys. And to me, if Tanner Morgan is projected to go 3rd/4th round, I think that would be a better 2nd round pickup. And we need to focus, we the Steelers need to focus on being able to prepare right now for getting somebody who is like if Faalele were here, I would just be like, boom, do that and then get the connection with his former quarterback. But I don't think like Jalen Mayfield's an option here, and it's something the Steelers would do. Honestly, they like to reach for a lot of picks, but I'm not gonna let them. I think that Rondale Moore could be a pick here, but I'm going Travis Etienne. I am sick and tired of James Conner being a subpar running back. And, I mean, I love his story. Amazing story. But Travis Etienne has a shit ton of upside, and I think that he is way better than what people think. And, again, wide receiver is not something Steelers need. They have a lot of young talent. They need speed, but that's something you can sign in the offseason or whatever. Travis Etienne is almost a guaranteed star running back that they'll have for 5 years, and then they can cut after because paying running backs is stupid. The next pick, the Packers are here, and they're gonna do what the Steelers did. They're gonna get Rondale Moore, absolute monster of a player, super fast, super agile, insane ceiling, very similar to Henry Ruggs in my opinion, and I think he moves differently. I love Rondale Moore. The next pick, Ravens. This is pretty much a luxury pick. Dude, there's something screaming to me about Aiden Hutchinson. It might have been the fact that he was highlighted, but Aiden Hutchinson might be the pick here. They do need a lot of edge presence, and Aiden Hutchinson seems like the type of guy that they would go for, and we're going to give it to him. So, 26, we have the Bucs still here. Quincy Roche could be an option, but I'm not going to give that to them. I think that, they could use, it's weird to say they can use an extra tight end, but I don't think Gronk is going to last that long. And O.J. Howard, they're trying to shop him around already. They could get Kyle Pitts here, but we're going to hold off on that idea for a second. Still look at the other options, and Quincy Roche could be added into this mix. Definitely something that could easily happen. And, you can add extra speed with Jalen Waddle. So right now I'm between Jalen Waddle and Boogie Basham as well as Quincy Roche. So Boogie Basham, I think, has a higher upside than Quincy Roche, but Jalen Waddle adds an extreme speed factor to this team that is, I put Jalen Waddle as top 25 talent when I first scouted him, and this is perfect timing for him. I think he's worth about this pick, and it's a value pick as well. So Jalen Waddle is going to be the pick here. Insane talent. The Chiefs here, we got to look at some options, and interior defensive lineman's an option. Christian Barmore is going to be the pick out of Alabama. You're probably going to, actually, I'm going to go Tweeman out of Pitt because you're going to lose Chris Jones. They just signed Chris Jones, but you are not going to be able to have that much firepower on that defensive line because of the fact that you can't pay everybody. You have Frank Clark there, but that's Frank Clark and Chris Jones. You need extra boogeymen on that defensive line, and I think Tweeman is going to be the perfect option to fit in. He has high upside, and Mel Kiper loves him. Therefore, I trust Mel Kiper more than I trust my own eyes in certain spots, especially on the defensive line. So I think Jalen Tweeman is going to be the perfect option to pair with Chris Jones and be able to learn under him. You could have two Chris Joneses. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of insane. The Niners, this is a luxury pick as well. Safety is an issue, and if we look at safeties, I think the perfect one right now is Javon Holland. I don't think they're going to get another shot at Javon Holland. He is just kind of a jack of all trades and something this team needs. Javon Holland is not going to be the best in one single category versus the rest of the draft class, but he is the best overall in my opinion, just because he is able to cover. He's able to be in the run game. He has good tackling form. He's just very good all around, and I think that's going to be very crucial if San Francisco wants to continue remaining relevant. The next pick, we have, this is going to be interesting, guys. I think offensive line is a big issue, and we're going to get Jalen Mayfield for Baker Mayfield. Going to be as simple as that. Just continue building up that offensive line. I know Jack Conklin's there, but Jalen Mayfield could. I think he will be getting kicked into guard until he's ready to be at tackle, just because of the fact that he is so raw. I think he needs some more mentoring from Jack Conklin, and he is only there for 3 years. They said they would give him a longer term contract when the cap is increased in 3 years, but I think Jalen Mayfield is going to be a great option here, simply because of the fact that he has extremely high upside and he can kick into guard and continue to develop and be more polished without having to worry about having Baker get cracked 24/7. The next pick, the Bears are here, and I'm stuck between Walker Little and then Hamza Nazir Al-Din. It's a very interesting scenario with Hamza versus him. I think we're going to go Walker Little, though. we are going to have it's going to be a very interesting duel here in the quarterback room. I'm going to project that Chicago, if I was to continue this, Chicago would get Tanner Morgan, and you need to protect him. And the tackles are getting older. The guard, I mean, obviously we just lost one of our interior offensive linemen, and it's not really looking too hot for us in this department. So get Walker Little, reach a little bit, but that's okay. Just continue developing that offensive line. And the Colts, they say they need a quarterback. That's some complete bullshit. Just at least take a shot with. I mean, Phillip Rivers will probably retire after going to the Super Bowl, but take a shot with. I keep forgetting his name out of Pittsburgh, Jacob Eason. Like, why not, man? Why not? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. And here is where I'm switching between Christian Barmore and Kyle Pitts. And I think that Kyle Pitts, it's just too good to give up. Don't give Jack Doyle too much of a long-term contract. Get Kyle Pitts in here. Steal him from the Cardinals, because I was really hoping that it would fall to where the Cardinals could be like, ooh, and just pick him up. But I think that the Cardinals here, they have Max Williams. They have guys who can fit in. I think Boogie Basham being able to learn under Chandler Jones is the best possible scenario for his growth. So that is the draft, guys. I'm probably not going to be doing another one based on the fact that it took me so freaking long to do being able to adjust all the picks and stuff. But I hope you guys liked it. This is the way it would fall if the season went the way I want it to go. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the far side. Peace.